Hey, Steve with Trimble. In today's video, we're going to show you how to do some spot elevations to bring into AutoCAD LT. Obviously, with LT, you can't bring in scan data, but you can convert that scan data on the tablet in the field to points that you can bring in. You can even bring in like an elevation image, like you see here, showing me this is a top-down view of a house. I have some contour points actually already in here, but everything's sloping away. So what we can do here. We'll actually go ahead and turn down this. We'll actually turn off the transparency of this so we can see what that looks like. So we have some ground elevations in a gridded line. We also have some that were manually created that we did in the tablet and sent over. So we're going to show you how to do that and then bring it into LT. And then we're actually going to show you how to do some other contour creation or topographic map creation in SketchUp. You can do it in LT, but it's polyline, it's kind of manual. So from Field Link and this in the tablet, we can send over these grid line of points and individual points, but to do a nice topo, there's plugins that will do it here in LT. But if you use like Civil 3D or SketchUp, you can do it a little bit easier. So here's what it looks like in Field Link. We have a couple different scans. I can set an elevation view, so I can actually start to see where everything's sloping. And even change this. So right now we're at a 6-foot elevation, but I could change my reference. They use the laser and actually set this to 100 feet, but sometimes it's nice to actually bring this down somewhere closer. It actually does look like everything just slopes away, but sometimes I'll look into this just to make sure any contours around the house are good. So we'll play with that size and the reference elevation we have to make sure it's good. Like here, I'd see is like maybe some concern. Obviously, this is raised, but then it drops down here, so you could have some runoff here, and you could even bring that in a little bit more. That bush is going to do it well, but higher through here and then kind of draining away down the driveway. So I can set this, take images, change the elevation, take an image just like this. It'll save that, and I can bring that into LT or really any other CAD or BIM platform. But to create these points, which is what's really nice, a single point at a time, I can just actually click on this. And for example, we've actually already done this a little bit. I'm going to change it to color so we can see what it actually looks like. But I can start to add in patio lines. Like I actually came in here and did this already, but we'll add some on the interior. This will as built where that patio is existing. I can do it for the blocks as well too. I can then export just as a DWG. So I highlight the ones I wanted. We'll actually take them away and then bring in this new set and say DWG stake. We'll say Laurel export, or we'll call this patio plus table. And those points I can then bring in LT. Will show you that. Now, if I wanted to do rather than just one point at a time, I could come in here and do one point at a time with this selection. I can actually also do it from the image selection just by coming in here and hitting that point and creating it. I can do a grid line as well too in the floor analysis. So here, come in, I've actually already done this, extract it, it'll actually extract just the ground there. When it does do that, I can move over to our surface analysis and start to create a grid line of points. And so those points, whenever there's a scan data near, we'll create and we'll get something that looks like this, which is just a grid line of points. And then I can export those as well too as a DWG or CSV or SketchUp if I want to go there as well too. So in LT, I can actually just come in here and bring in those points one at a time. Say don't specify because we're already, or we should have already aligned this scan and they did to 100. If I had other data, I could actually do a little bit more, meaning if I had like a PDF or a drawing file, I could align to that too. So all these points will live in the same spot. I'm going to delete this one just to show here's my patio. Some new ones. I'd probably want to name those better so I knew what they're measuring to. But obviously, like here's my table at 97 and 2 inches, whereas the ground patio is 94 and 94 and 7 inches. So I can bring those in. Now, if I want to do contours, I could do that by creating lines and doing a spline between them, a polyline and curving it, which is nice, but it's a little manual. The other option I have, polyline, curve it. I could do something like that. That doesn't, I'd have to click on every corresponding elevation. And there are plugins that'll do this, but if I can bring the same scan data into SketchUp, you can see actually I can create those contours very quickly. I'll show you what this looks like and how to do that. Simply you just bring in the scan data, and then you can, from the scan data, create a mesh, which is within this extension in SketchUp. If I turn the scan data out, so essentially go into the scan data, create mesh, turn off the visibility of the other or the scans. I can click on that mesh. And then once I have that mesh, I can use another tool called contour lines and create contours to essentially 6 inches. And I can go through here and just start to clean up the ones that aren't really needed there to see it. Obviously, that's part of the house. I can see that with the scan data. So, yeah, please reach out to your nearest building point representative if you have any questions on how to bring that scan data just directly into your LT program, or if you're interested in actually bringing the SketchUp, where you can actually bring in the scan data and start to work with it.